of integer programming problem. In the previous lecture, I have discussed about integer programming and the methods of various cases of integer programming problem, and I have also discussed about the applications of integer programming problem. So now in this lecture I am just going to discuss about branch and bound method. So how to use why we use branch and bound method? Branch and bound method is used. Branch and bound method is used to solve integer pure integer and plus mixed integer programming problem. Okay, so it is used to solve pure integer programming problem and mixed integer programming problem. So what we do in this branch and bound method, basically we try to find the solution of a given programming problem by using graphical method if the variables are 2. Okay, so we assume that the variable x i's are greater than equals to 0, means real number, and try to solve using graphical method. Okay, so after finding the solution using graphical method, we try to eliminate the solution to obtain the optimal solution. So I will discuss branch and bound method by assuming one example. Okay, so let me take an example. Suppose this is a function which is of maximization type. So maximize z equals to 2x plus 3x2 subjected to 2x1 plus 5x2 less than equals to 25 and x1 plus 3x2 less than equals to 10, where x1 and x2 are non-negative integers. So it has said in the problem that x1 x2 are non-negative integers. So in your exam it will be asked, don't get it confused, it is clearly mentioned that x1 and x2 are non-positive integers, means they cannot take a real value, they can take only integer value. Okay, so how to proceed with this? So first of all, what we do, we assume that x1 and x2 are greater than equals to 0. Okay, then we try to find the solution of this problem using graphical method. Okay, so this is the graph of this method. So as you can see, we can find the optimal solution by drawing the feasible lesion. This is the feasible lesion, and we obtain the optimal value at the intersection point of the two constraints, which is x1 is 25 by 3, x2 is 35 by 3, and the value of the objective function is 155 by 13, which is almost equal to 12. Okay, so one thing is sure. What is that? The integer, the value of the objective function cannot be greater than 12, because this is the most optimal value when we are not having any constant or the variable. Okay, so this objective function cannot take value less than equals to 12. Okay, so once we have find the solution of this problem, okay, x1 and x2 which is real number. Okay, so what we do next? So this is the solution. So what we do next? Here the value of x2 is 35 by 3, which is coming out to be 2 point something, 2.78. Okay, so the value is around 2 point something, 2 point, let's say 7 around. So what is the meaning of this? Means x2 can take either this value, means the value of x2 lies between 2 and 3, we can say, means x2 can take the value of less than equals to 2 and greater than equals to 2. The value can be anything. We cannot say that the value will be 2 or 3. No, it can be 1, 0, or it can be 3, 4, 5, 6, right? So for integer programming problem solution, a value of greater than equals to 2 and less than 10 being ruled out, we satisfy that either x2 less than equals to 2 or it is x2 greater than equals to 2. So these can be used to partition of the solution of a space of the given problem into two distinct components. So what we do next, we divide this problem into sub problem. Okay, so here it is. So sub problem 1, this is the objective function 2x1 plus 3x2 subjected to this. Now one constraint we have added, so I just want to say we can also take this value x1 which is 25 by 3. So what you need to do is that just select any of the value randomly. Okay, so here we have selected x2, you can also select x1. So after assuming these constraints, so in sub problem 1 we assume that x2 is less than equals to 2, and in sub problem 2 we assume that x2 is greater than equals to 3, and when x2 and x1 and x2 are non-negative integers. So what we do next, we try to find the solution using graphical method. Now we have 3 constraints. So for sub problem 1 we get the value of x1 2.5 and the value of x2 2 and z max is 11. Okay, so here you can see the value of objective function has reduced to 11. Is this okay? So x2 can be 2 and the value of z max is 11, but this is again not the integer value. Okay, so similarly for this sub problem we try to find the solution using graphical method. So value will be x1 equals to 1, x2 equals to 3 and z max is 11. Okay, so now we have achieved the next value which is 11. Okay, so one most important thing is that the value cannot be less than 11. Okay, because once we have reached x1 equals to 1, x2 equals to z max is 11, and this solution is optimal. Okay, but listen, for the sub problem 2, okay, but what we need to do is that, do we need to check for this solution? Because we have already achieved the solution x1 equals to 1 and x2 equals to 2, z max is 11, and here z max is 11.5, but this solution is not optimal. So this is the most accurate solution. Okay, so let me proceed further. So here it is shown that how we have achieved using the graphical method, how we achieve the value. Okay, so this is all this is given, like we have added extra constraint, so I am not consuming much time. We have added one constraint here, x1 less than equals to 2, and here we have added x2 greater than equals to 3, and we have obtained the solution I have already discussed. Okay, now what you need to do is that just go back to the previous variable x1. What was x1? The x1 was 2.5. again the value lie between 2 and 3, means x1 can take value, the value is of x1 is lie between 2 and 3, right? So x1 either x1 can be less than equals to 2 or x1 can be greater than equals to 3. So this is it. Okay, so how to do next? So here it is. Again we have divided the problem. First we will assume x1 less than equals to 2 and x2 greater than equals to 3. So first we have assumed x2 greater than equals to 3, and after assuming this we obtain the solution. Here it is, sub problem 3. You can have a look. x1 less than equals to 2 and x1 greater than equals to 3. So after solving this problem using graphical method, again we try to find the value of the objective function, which is coming out to be x1 equals to 2, x2 equals to 2 and z max 10. Here it is a maximization problem, so this is not the optimal solution because the value of objective function is 11. So we will not consider this as our optimal solution because we have already achieved z max equals to 11. Okay, moving to the next. When x1 equals to 3 and x2 equals to 1.4, then the value of z max is, here we have considered x1 greater than equals to 2, then we are getting this solution. Again this solution is, the value of the objective function is less than 11, means this is also not the solution. So here what solution we have achieved so far in this problem? So there is no much concern to discuss. We will not consider this because the value is less than 11. Okay, so here it is. First what we have done, first we obtain the solution using this. X1 was 25 by 3 and x2 was 25 by 13 and the value of z max was 155 by 3. So what we have done, because the value of the variables was not pure integer, so we have assumed x2 in the sub problem 1. We have assumed x1 equals to 1 and x2 equals to 3 after solution, and in the sub problem 1 we have obtained x1 2.5, x2 2. So here there is no further scope of improvement. Here we can see also, although there is no need to check here, but still we have checked x1 greater than equals to 3 and x1 less than equals to 2. So after considering x1 greater than equal to 3, we have calculated x1 equals to 3, x2 1.4 and z max 10.2. so this is not the optimal solution. We will not consider this here as well. After considering x1 less than 12, we get this solution, which is in this the value of the objective function is 10. So in the entire structure, here the value of the objective function is maximum and the value of the variables are integer. So we can say this is the optimal solution. So have you got my point? How to solve branch and bound method? What we need to do is that we have to use only graphical method. Just try to increase the constant. Try to solve the problem by assuming the various constants, and at any point where the value of the objective function is maximum, we will get the solution. Actually it was not it was a simple problem where in the first step we got the solution, but it is always not desirable. Suppose the value is 11 and the value here was z max equals to 13, so maybe you will get the solution here or here. Okay, so we cannot say, so you cannot skip the previous step, you have to solve it accordingly, only then you can obtain the solution. So I think this is clear now, or I don't think that I just need to spend more time on this. Okay, so this is a very simple problem. You can solve this problem at your home using very simple technique. So let me discuss once again what we have done in this problem. First try to solve the problem using simple graphical method, and just try to increase the constant accordingly and find the value of objective function at each stage, and after the finite stage you will get the value of the objective function. Okay, so now I am just giving you few questions which you need to solve using branch and bound method. Okay, so here is the method. So using branch and bound method, solve, maximize z equals to 2x1 plus x2 subjected to tan x1 plus tan x2 less than equals to 9 and tan x1 plus 5x2 greater than equals to 1, where x1 and x2 are non-negative integer. So you have to solve this problem using branch and bound method. So in this in the previous in this problem, this is also similar. Okay, so this is one problem that you need to solve. Okay, so one more problem I want to give you. Maximize, you have to solve using branch and bound method as well. Z equals to 7x1 plus 9x2 subjected to minus x1 plus 3x2 less than equals to 6, 7x1 plus x2 less than equals to 35. Okay, and x1 comma x2 are integer. Okay, so this is the another problem which you need to solve. Okay, so this was the problem which I have discussed just now. Now there are some cases I will you can I have already discussed about cutting plane method, which is not so much important, cutting plane method. So you have to study it by your own, so I will not take much time on this, and I'm just going to discuss one more method, which is of additive algorithm or 0-1 programming problem. Okay, so I'm just going to discuss this method very soon. So cutting plane method you have to solve it, but now what I am going to discuss is additive method. So what additive method says? Okay, we have time, so we can consider. So what additive method says, let me discuss. Suppose a problem is given as maximize z equals to summation j equals to 1 to n cj xj. So this is the problem subjected to j equals to 1 to n aij xj less than equals to vi. Okay, and suppose the value of xj's are 0 or 1. This is 0 or 1 for all j equals to 1 to up to n. So this is the problem where xj are either 0 or 1, and you want to solve this problem. So what you need to do in the additive algorithm method, so just convert it into the standard form. And what is the standard form? First, if the problem is of the minimization type, just convert it into the by. If the objective function is of minimization type, then just multiply objective function by -1 to convert it into the maximization type of problem. So just convert it by multiplying it by -1. So convert objective function into maximization type. Okay, if it is minimization type, otherwise no need. Okay. Second, what is the second thing? In the second thing, replace all equality constant by two weak inequality, one of less than equals to type and other of greater than equals to type. Okay, so if we are having any equality constant, so we can convert it into less than or greater than equals to type. So if the constraint is of equal to type, it can be converted into less than equals to plus greater than equals to. Okay, so this is the second step. Third step is multiply all greater than type of constraint by -1 to convert it into the less than equals to type. So just multiply by -1, multiply by -1 for all greater than type of constraint, right? And this is the most important step, fourth step, which is we said that define a new variable yj. This is the most important step. Define new variable yj which is equals to xj if cj is greater than equals to 0 in the minimization problem, and 1 minus xj if cj is less than equals to 0. Right, so this is it. So after doing this, we can introduce the slack variable, and if the problem is primarily feasible in addition to the being dual feasible, nothing more needs to be done, since the minimum in terms of new variable is achieved by assigning 0 value to all variable. So however, it is optimal in feasible, so additive algorithm can be used to find the optimum. So as in branch and bound method, there is also based on the use of branching variable xj. However, xj is binary variable, two branches are associated, one for xj equals to 0 and other for xj equals to 1. So this is how the problem will be solved. Once we convert it into the standard form, the problem can be easily solved. Okay, so this was simply the introduction of branch and bound method. Okay, so let me take one example how to do it. Suppose this problem is given: maximize z equals to -3x1 plus 4x2 subjected to 2x1 plus x2 equals to 5 and 3x1 plus 5x2 greater than equals to 6, where x1 x2 equals to 0, 1. So this is the problem which you need to solve. Here it is said that x1 x2 can take only 0 and 1 value. So this is a binary integer programming, so we have to use additive algorithm. So just try to convert it into the standard form. So objective function is already of minimization type. So just try to convert it into the minimization type. Okay, so minimize z dash new function equals to -z, which will be 3x1 plus -4x2. And what we need to do is just we have one equality constraint which is a 2x1. I'm sorry, I have defined one wrong thing. Convert objective function into just correct it. minimization type. If it is maximization type, so we have to convert the objective function into the minimization type. Okay, have corrected that. Okay, here the function was of maximization type, that's why we have converted it into the minimization type by multiplying it by -1. Okay, now we have one equality constraint, so want it today, just convert it into less than or equal to type. So we can convert it to x1 plus x2 less than equals to 5 and 2x1 plus x2 greater than equals to 5. Rest is same, and 3x1 plus 5x2 is greater than equals to 6. So this is the second step. Now what you need to do is just multiply by -1 and multiply it by -1. Okay, so after multiplying it by -1, the problem will be converted into minimize z dash equals to 3x1 minus 4x2, subjected to we having 2x1 plus x2 less than equals to 5. In the same way, minus 2x1 minus x2 less than equals to -5, then minus 3x1 minus 5x2 greater than equals to less than equals to -6. Okay, so this is the problem. So now you can introduce the slack variable. So the problem will be minimize z dash equals to 3x1 minus 4x2 subjected to 2x1 plus x2 plus s1 equals to 5. Okay, and minus 2x1 minus x2 plus s2 equals to -5, and minus 3x1 minus 5x2 plus s3 equals to -6. x1 comma x2 are 0 and 1, and s1 comma s2 are comma s3 are greater than equals to 0. So after doing this, just convert those variable which are of positive coefficient by y1 and another by 1 minus y1. So here x1 will be y1, x2 will be 1 minus y2, x1 will be y1 and x2 will be y2. Here the coefficient is negative, so x1 by. So after doing this, we will get this minimize z double dash equals to z dash plus 4 after doing this, which is 3y1 plus 4y2 subjected to 2y1 minus y2 plus s1 equals to 4 minus 2y1 plus y2 plus s2 equals to -4, and minus 3y1 plus 5y2 plus s3 equals to -1. So this is the problem which need to be solved. Okay, so this was about 0-1 integer programming problem, additive algorithm. Rest how to solve it, how to obtain the solution, I will discuss later on. Okay, so this was for today. So I have discussed branch and bound method and the additive algorithm method. Just an introduction how to convert the method into the standard form. Okay, so this was for today. Okay, and thank you so much.